Hello guys, Locha Brooks here. Guys, I'm super excited to continue our journey with talking with edupreneurs, educators who are also entrepreneurs. Today I have a special guest. We have Brodrick Rhodes with us. He's an educator as well as a real estate agent. We're going to dive in and talk about how it is to be an educator, balancing having your own business. So Mr. Rhodes, I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for taking out the time of your busy schedule to join us. So we're just going to jump right in. We need to know from other people, other educators, what is the life of an educator entrepreneur? How do you find balance? How have you found your success in your work career as well as your entrepreneurship, your real estate business?
For me, it's just a matter of having balance. Balance is going to be a big part of it. Balance and discipline and dedication. Balance, discipline, and dedication. Because I'm a strong believer in taking care of the whole person. You know, you want to take care of your body and your mind too. You know, and so knowing when to cut it off, you know, that's a big thing. And I know as human beings, a lot of times we get so passionate about what we're doing and we burn ourselves out. So balance, but at the same time being dedicated to what you're doing and knowing your why. And so that's kind of my big thing. And I start my day, every day starts at 4:00 in the morning, like no alarm clock, no, just natural. And so I start my day and I do everything to try to set myself up to have a successful day. And I think that's a big part of balancing it all.
Okay, yeah, balance is totally key. It's totally key. And then I like how you also incorporated the mindset. You have to have, the mindset of knowing that if you're not taking care of your body, that's going to transcend to other things. So that's a large part of it as well. So I want to talk about how your trajectory as far as being an educator and being a business owner. So from my understanding, you started off interested in real estate and then became a teacher. Can you talk more about that a little bit?
Sure. So initially, I started as a sub, and real estate is very cyclical. So you have times where things are slow and some fortunate. Right now in the market, we've been experiencing a lot of business, but there are times where sometimes it gets slow. And so I thought that, okay, well, I could be a substitute teacher and that'll help bring in some consistent income. And I started that. And then I just kind of took an interest in what was going on in the school. And I thought, and I also saw a need for people like myself to be present in schools. And so I thought, I could do anything that I want to do. That's just my mindset. I'm a go-getter. So I said, I'm going to get a teacher certification. I enrolled in the teacher certification and they was like, okay, you got to go take the test now. I was like, I just got in the program. And so I went and took my content test and passed without even studying. And I'm certified to teach business and finance from grade 6 through 12.
Okay.
And so because business was my background, I related to the material on the test. And so I got that certification and it's been fun. Ever since then, I'm stepping into year 5.
Okay, year 5. So I think for some people who are in the classroom, they want to explore other opportunities outside of the classroom because we know that the income, there's almost like a cap on it as far as being an educator. Unless you like the superintendent,
right,
classroom teachers, you're only going to make so much.
Right.
So with that, you successfully found balance, and not only just being in real estate, but you also saw the need for your presence in the school. I think that's important too, because as I push edupreneurship, I want people to understand it's not walking away from education. It's pursuing multiple streams, right? And so for me, becoming an educational consultant and stepping outside of the classroom, I have expanded my reach. So I'm no longer inside of the classroom. I'm not boggled down with a typical 9-to-5 workday, but the work that I do is still very deeply rooted in my passion of wanting to educate others. So I'm happy that you found a need for yourself to be present in schools as well as balancing having your own business. As far as how do you see your real estate business transpiring over into the content that you teach in your classroom? Do you see any type of correlation with what you emphasize in your teachings and your actual business? Do you see that at all?
Yeah, I do. With me being teaching in business and finance, my specific class is investigating careers. And so we actually go through a part where we cover units on the importance of having good credit, the importance of just financial in general. And so a lot of times when we get to that unit, I'm super excited because I really get to I'm always bringing it in, but when we get to specifically about financial literacy, I like to dive deep into the real estate portion of it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because everybody needs a home, or they going to need somewhere to stay.
Yeah, because it's important. Because if you think about it, like you said, everybody needs a home. Everybody needs somewhere to stay. Well, even if you're renting, even if you're buying a home, you need to know how all of that works. And even from the aspect of, you may have a student who, matter of fact, I had one kid, he told me, I asked him, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he told me, I want to be a landlord. I got excited. I was like, that's what I'm talking about right there. You want to be a landlord and not the tenant.
Right.
And so, and I've had so many kids throughout the years that has told me, hey, I want to work in real estate. I want to work in real estate. So I feel like I'm doing my part in really opening our students up to opening their minds up to the possibilities of because real estate changed my life. And it could change a lot of people's lives. So
it changed my life. And actually, I didn't share this with you all before, but Mr. Rhodes facilitated the transaction of my acquisition here in Dallas, my first home here in Texas, relocated from St. Louis. And we just happened to be talking about real estate while in the hallways, while kids are passing by and things like that. And I had mentioned that I had real estate back home in St. Louis. And so just having those multiple streams is just so important, period. And
something I want to add to that is it's so much like knowledge and untapped potential in the hallways of these schools. I mean, it's, because if you think about it, us as teachers, we create every other profession. We create every other profession. And so it's so much like a lot of times, just talk with your colleagues and share ideas. It's a wealth of knowledge among educators, and I feel like we should connect with each other more and encourage each other. And maybe if your ventures lead you outside of the classroom into something greater, that's fine. Or if you find something that will allow you to balance them both at the same time, it's fine. It's whatever works for you. But just know that I think it should be known that there is an abundance of opportunities and ways to add and supplement to what you're doing as a teacher.
Certainly. And I think just even knowing that it is definitely possible to balance it. Again, not trying to strip all the teachers out of the classroom at all, but just exploring different options of generating passive income, because that ceiling is real. It's real. And when you think about, you don't have households that have two teachers in the household where you can say, oh, that's a 6-figure income. Sometimes you have a household where there is a single parent and this is their only stream of income. And so that can be limiting. So exploring other options and exploring, entrepreneurship is never a bad thing. And then, like you said, with talking to your colleagues, if me and Mr. Rhodes, if me and you hadn't talked, I would have never known. And then once I was ready to purchase a home, I'm a client. So not only are we colleagues, but, we are potential marketing to, some of our clients, creating networks and things like that. So it's just it's always opportunities, and you can only find out about them through sharing dialogue. So I appreciate you for even talking with us today. And I think one last thing is what would you share with a fellow educator that is seeking opportunities that may be outside of the classroom? What would you share with them? What type of advice would you give to them?
The advice that I would give to my fellow educators that's looking to pursue opportunities outside the classroom is, I say the main thing, just do it. We can sit around, we can sit around and we can say and we can talk and plan, but we should just execute the plans that we have and the plans that we create. A lot of us are sitting on, billion dollar opportunities just because we're afraid to just take that leap. And the biggest thing is, have balance, because I think it's important, have that balance and be dedicated and understand that whatever it is that you're going to do, it's going to take some sacrifices, but, a lot of times I make a lot of sacrifices now, but I always train myself to understand that they are temporary sacrifices. And so just get away from the instant gratification mindset. And if we put some moves and things in places today, it could very well change the complete trajectory of our life. So I definitely encourage them to be have balance, be dedicated, and don't give up, because you will have failures. We all have had failures along our journey. That's inevitable. Certainly. Yeah. You're going to bump your head, but I feel like just don't dwell on it too much. Pick up and figure it out.
Thank you. That's certainly, I even appreciate that. Just execute, right? So, to anybody that is interested in purchasing a home, all right, I want you to know, if you're in the Dallas area, Brodrick Rhodes is always more than willing to take you out on a showing. So we'll make sure that his contact information is displayed. But guys, listen, it's totally possible to be an educator, to be an entrepreneur, whether you are looking to stay in the educational field like me and become a consultant, or, move into other streams of income such as real estate. Guys, the opportunities are endless. You have to plan, you have to execute. It's totally possible. Thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to coming back to you with some more engaging dialogue and conversations. Thank you.